There. In this tutorial, I'm going to discuss about client access server array. So what exactly client access server array is all about? So client access server array is a group of client access server which can provide you the assistance like network load balancing. So for the client access server array, you can add as much as, for example, if you have lots of Active Directory site, you can add it. So but the problem is that one Active Directory site can have only one client access server array, and one client access server array can be deployed only in one site. So this is what the limitation is. Then in client access in a particular Active Directory site, you can add only one client access server array, and one client access server array can be only deployed in one site. And as well as work as network load balancing in Active Directory sites. So in the client access array, we're introducing XN Server 2010. So our clients in Active Directory site could access the client access servers in the array by using RPC over TCP to a single unified fully qualified domain name. The RPC client access server property of new mailbox database was automatically populated with the FQDN of the client access array, and this value was used during the creation of Outlook profiles for mailboxes on those databases. So let's move to our Exchange Server 2010 machine to find how to create active client access server array. So now I'm in Exchange Server 2010 and we have to open EMS Exchange Management Shell, and we have to give a command in Exchange Management Shell. So the command is new hyphen client access array, and then the name we are going to add, so hyphen name, and the name I'm going to give to this client access array is Outlook, then space hyphen fully qualified domain name, so FQDN, naming it as outlook.techengineertv.in. Okay, and now we are going to give the site name. So site name for our Exchange server client access server is by default the hyphen default first site name. This is the default name we all have in Exchange server. So and if you have add any site name, you can give that same. Currently in my scenario, it's by default, so this is the command. Hit enter, so the new session will be implicated, and it's done. So you can see that the client access array named Outlook, site is default first site name, fully qualified domain name for the client access array is outlook.techengineertv.in, and is a member of Exchange Server 1. The next thing is we're going to assign a mailbox to this client access array. So the name I'm going to add set-mailbox database. So currently we have database of DB1. So I'm going to add the database to this particular client access array. So DB1 space hyphen RPC client access, and the name, which is in this case, in my case, the client access array is Outlook. So clicking on it, and if it gets success, you can see there is no error message I receive. It means the command has been done. select clear screen, and the new command going to add is get -mailbox database, and then pipe, adding a pipe, full list fl space name, and then rpc client star. So this is to find out the database we have just assigned, as we added 2 commands. So this is, you can find out the mailbox database. One is the client access server, which is by default access server 1. So by default mailbox is there. Another one is the backup we created, and another one is db1, which we just assigned to client access array. And when you add the same command, get-mailbox database, we're adding the pipe there. We're just going to change with ft space name or comma rpc client, and we're just adding the star. When you click on it, so it will just classify more when you talk about the database, mailbox database. So the client access server, we have xnserver1.techhttp.in, then edb1, which is the backup database, and db1 we just assign to client access server. So hope you learned something from it about client